What is up, everyone? Hello and welcome to another episode of Monk and Lou's Happy Hour right here on the Way Past That channel, right here on YouTube. Very happy to be here for UFC Vegas 94, aka the show before UFC 304. Lou, how's it going? Looking forward to this card.
I like the way you name that. I don't hate this card, to be honest. Like I hate some of the fights. I also think that the winner on DraftKings this week is probably going to be like a 900 person split for first. Yeah. It just seems like there's fights
unless the salary, unless there's 2K left over.
Unless you get like a meme. I mean, like a meme. There's going to be like a meme finish on this card, and like whatever asshole had that in his lineup is going to win. But I'm looking forward to it, and I'm also looking forward to tell our fine viewing audience some of the new programs we have coming up.
Oh yeah,
my demented mind and Monk's normal mind have been mixing the ideas.
Abby normal.
Yeah, Abby normal. That's very good. If anybody in the chat knows what movie that's from, I would be very impressed.
You're my best friend now.
I know what movie it's from. Like one of my dad's favorites of all time.
Mine too.
We got some cool ideas. I'd like to start with something that's I can't do a show called What Really Grinds My Gears in the channel as much as I would love to. I can't.
That would be fun.
We'd be here all fucking day. But I have a little. It's not a gripe. This let's call this a constructive piece of advice for some of you in the community. Now, this is not for everybody. It depends on why you're in the community, and I'm talking strictly on the people on our side of the veil, content people.
Mm-hmm.
There's no right or wrong, quote unquote, way to do this. If you have fun doing it and that's it, that's great. But even if you're just recreational, you got to try to do your best because there's people that actually listen. People pay attention to what you have to say. Right or wrong, there's people that you can influence. That's why they're called influencers. So for me, I always, and as goofy as I can come off on this show, like I do a lot of research. I know Monk does a lot of research. You guys have ever heard me do football, soccer? I'm like, you wouldn't even believe it's me. I'm like the exact opposite where it's like very stat driven. But you can tell that I put work in, and that's my point. Whether or not I'm the type of person, I'm not for everybody. Shame on you that I'm not, but I'm not for everybody. But my criticism is that I see a lot of people, a lot of ham and eggers, Johnny come latelys, if you want to use some old timey English here. There's people that are on the Twitter box and more Twitter than YouTube. And I feel like they are doing no work and trying to say that they are at the same level as the people that really do put in a lot of work. And so for those people, I say, stop, knock it off, or just put in more work. Like, don't do 2 videos in 6 months and be like, I have a YouTube channel and I'm a YouTuber. You're not. And if you don't have your own channel and you just do like guest spots like once every 3 months, you're not. Stop it. You're not. And it's very easy to go create a channel. I mean, fuck, we've done it twice. It's very easy to create a channel and just make videos. It's not a problem. Are you going to get 900 views your first video? No. I've gone back and watched the first videos Monk and I did where I said like 3 words. The screen had like 985 numbers on it. and I didn't have a ring light. And I looked like I was like a vampire. So, I mean, you do it enough, you get better. If you're tweeting and you're giving out picks, and again, I'm not calling out anybody specifically. I can't stress this enough. If you are the kind of content creator that just prefers to write picks out, that's great. You have no excuse for spelling errors, and you have no excuse for poor grammar. You have Grammarly, you have word editors. They're there to help you. And I'm not saying this to be a jerk. If you're writing these long form things to break down fights, that means you want to be a professional. If you'd like to be professional in any walk of life, speaking well, communicating well, these are important traits. Dude, I was a computer programmer for 25 years. Well, I still am. I don't know why I said I was. The ability to communicate with your bosses and write out ideas, people notice that kind of thing. It makes you look professional. So if you're out there writing up these things, just be professional. Like my guy Narco, I'm in his Discord. Every write-up, I mean, whether I don't have to agree with it, I happen to agree with a lot of what he says. Everything's flawless. It's written well. It's concise. It makes sense. It's not a big ask to do that. I think we all, so anybody watching this, if you're trying to get into this, you're trying to get better, that's it. And if you just take this recreationally, ignore this. And that's it. That's the end of the track. Now let's get to these. Oh, and then let's talk about.
Well, I was just gonna say that was Lou's version of a Kendrick diss track.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
there.
Josh is like Josh owns
did.
like 19 houses now because of Narcos Discord. Right? But I mean, I've been friends with Mike I've been friends with Mike for years on here. Like his Discord's a thing of beauty. He does an awesome job, like tremendous job.
Well, super quick before we get into that, let's shout out the chat. SD Crusader in the house, Jenna, Joshua, Green King, drinking that Modelo, Mushroom. What is going on, Damare? Glad to see you guys here. Damari
does good work. Damari writes all his tweets are written up. It's perfect. It's concise. It makes sense.
And if you spell loser with 2 O's, just fucking block me because I'm gonna block you real quick. So,
but if you write like a 1-sentence thing, because like I don't care about the spelling errors, and I'm saying is if you're writing up like, breakdown, if you're writing up a breakdown, like and again, I'm not calling anybody out, but like don't write more cleaner or shit like that. Let's talk about the new show.
Let's do it.
A week from Tuesday, we're going to debut it.
So after UFC 304, Tuesday after that.
Correct. So Tuesdays on this channel are going to be like Adult Swim infomercials, essentially, in that it's going to be whatever weird concepts we have, and if people like them, we'll keep doing them, and if they don't,
like an open mic for the channel, right?
Right. I got like 3 years of ideas written down, and half of them are probably absolutely terrible. Josh, calm down with the challenge show, man. You're supposed to organize this. This is your idea. You're supposed to organize. I'll host it. I'll organize the draft. Your job is to get people. I don't even know when the challenge starts, but I am in for a challenge. I already said I've committed to it. Here's too many monks. Yes. Now see. All right, Justin, you might be on the the marketing team, and he intentionally spelled that wrong, I'm sure.
Yes, I know. Of course he did.
So the name, I mean, we'll come up with a real name, maybe, but who's more grizzled is the name.
Hopefully.
I'm hoping we don't come up with a name, and that's what we go with. Do you want to explain it, or would you like me to do it?
So it's gonna be like a topic. Like, for instance, should I the first one we're gonna basically, it's gonna be a bracket, right? A bracket challenge of the 8 best television villains of all time, right?
Badasses.
Badasses.
Is fine, whatever.
Or either way. It started off with me and Lou arguing about Al Swearingen versus Lorne Malvo. So now we're each gonna pick 3 more, and we're gonna fucking put them together and see who comes out on top. We all know it's gonna be Al Swearingen, but it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Bracket style, just some quick arguments, like 5 minutes each one. We'll see. I think we're gonna do like round 1 and 2, or round 1 in one show, and then round 2 maybe the next week or something like that. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be just nonsense and hopefully a lot of fun. And it'd be very, very fun to get involved with that in the chat, especially.
It's basically Monk and I just hating each other for like the whole show.
Right.
Like I get why Monk's saying why he thinks Al Swearingen's the best villain, but he's wrong, and I don't agree with him.
I mean, it's because I'm right.
No, because you're not. So that's the show. and like basically the idea is like it would be a 2-week thing. Like, yeah, round 1 would be one show, and then you guys vote in the chat. We'll vote in the comments.
Yes.
Put them on Twitter. And then the next week is the semifinals. We're gonna do a losers bracket because I think we have to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the championship. And look, I think that's that. And by the way, this is like the tamest of the fucking ideas. Right. This is like 1 on a scale of 1 to 10 of some of the stuff, because I'm not even going to tell you guys about the body cam cop game show concept yet, but I'll tell you the name of it. For what? I'm going to have to be real delicate the way I do it, because I never got thrown off the air on the other channel, but like there is a very good possibility I would get thrown off the air on this concept. I may have to just edit. Like, it's going to be like a 2-hour show that's edited into like
20 minutes.
Not even. It's going to be like, hey guys, welcome to, and that was our show for the week. Well, let's get to the fights, dude. That's why people allegedly come to the show.
Supposedly.
I don't know shit.
Well, let's get to the fights, and the first one is Muhammad Usman and the little boy from Up, Thomas Peterson. He's all grown up now, and he's a UFC fighter. Plus 110 for Peterson, minus 130 for Usman, 8,800 on DraftKings for Muhammad Usman. Let's just let that sink in. Fight doesn't go minus 155. The over 2.5 for this heavyweight banger is minus 210. I will start us off here. Yeah, I think this fight sucks. Thomas Peterson's probably not good, but that losing to Jamal Pogue's not all the way up. That's right. Not the best look, but he did score 44 points. And if you take out the round by round scoring and just go off stats, he could have won that fight in a close decision. Either way, he's not scoring. It's 74 points if he wins. Usman, that's about what he scores, 85, 78, 81. And for those that say, well, if he lands takedowns on Peterson, he's going to, the only times he's landed takedowns, he scored the 2 lowest scores of his UFC career. So I don't buy it. And he lost to Mick Parkin, who also sucks. So these guys suck. Not really going to look at this one for DraftKings, but there is a chance something could happen. So super low ownership for me. But I do think Peterson is actually an okay punt at the price tag of 7,400. Paying 88 for Usman is like paying 8,800 for like a 2003 like Toyota Camry with a couple hundred. Actually, no, Toyotas are still running. Like maybe like I don't know, a Ford Festiva, something like that. Yeah, he's been 73, 8K, and 84. Yeah,
Sundance.
There you go. 8,800's wild. So yeah, I'm fading. Gonna hope for the fade here and hope I don't see a round 1 knockout. What do you got for this one?
I had a Plymouth Sundance, and when I was like a senior in high school, and my parents like the streets on a hill, and this car would go like, to get up that hill would go like 0 to 60 in like 3 days, dude. This car stopped. It was awful. I had no pickup. Well, let's come in hot right off the bat. This is the Yam Bag special.
Oh,
it
nice.
Checks so many of the boxes for me. Southpaw versus Orthodox. It's sloppy heavyweights. It's favored to go the distance. Maybe there's a racial issue here. I don't know. I mean, like, I know the first 3 I like. I'm just padding it, just playing with house money.
Right.
You know, we really don't know if Peterson's a good grappler. I know he has a high school wrestling background. I know he has like a single leg that's okay. I don't think he has to worry about a lot of volume coming back at him. So he may just be happy to walk through the fire and consistently go for takedowns. I think Usman's takedown defense is like great. I think if anybody's live for a finish, it's Peterson. I would favor Peterson if I had to bet it. He was D1. Okay. Well, then guess what, Luke? It means he also fucking wrestled in high school. So I wasn't wrong. He probably wrestled in middle school also. I didn't mention that. Oh, it was North Dakota, right?
All those boys do up there is wrestle.
Luke, can you confirm it? I didn't look. Can you confirm if I'm right that it was North Dakota? Please tell me. Yeah, I mean, I think it was North Dakota. Luke's not gonna. No, if I got something right, Luke's never gonna fucking tell me if I was right. Iowa, that's made up. That's not a real school. Iowa Western.
Iowa. Wait, who said Iowa Western?
North Dakota State. Yes.
Oh, NDSU. Dude. That's even colder. Those motherfuckers, all they do is wrestle. Also, Iowa Western.
Did he wrestle Carson Wentz when he was there?
I don't know, but Iowa Western, their jingle is Iowa Western. I'll never forget that. Thanks, Dogfather.
Iowa Central. These are all made up schools, dude. Like
Iowa Western is very, very real.
I'm pretty sure Slater wrestled at Iowa Central after he graduated Bayside. So yeah, so I'm gonna say Peterson wins. He even has finishing equity here, but honestly, like, you know, Peterson coming off a loss, it may be a case of like, if he knows he can just bank minutes and win, even if it's a horrible looking decision, it just gets him his first win in the UFC. So you need Peterson to win. And then from a DraftKings perspective, I mean, I hate to put this back on you. You kind of have to just hold your nose and play him at this money line versus price, dude. Like you sort of have to. He does have grappling equity. Look, yeah, I don't think if he gets some grappling off, if he gets a couple of takedowns and a decision win, he's gonna 10x his salary. Even if he lands no strikes, he's gonna pay off his salary if he just has like
that's true
3 takedowns and a lot of control time.
Do you know what city NDSU is in, Lou?
I'm gonna guess Bismarck.
No, you should have went with Fargo.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. It's not a real school.
NDSU. Yeah, you're probably right.
No.
You're probably right. Their
Excuse
mascot
me,
is a bison named
I went to a
Thunder.
real. Excuse me. I went to a real college. Thank
What's
you.
that?
I've said it on. I went to a sinus college. I went to where we're all smart, and it costs a lot. I went to a real college, and as you can tell, I'm really utilizing my college degree right now.
Exactly. Talking about Muhammad Usman and
Can
Luana Carolina.
Can I pass on this one when we move on?
There you go, Carson Wentz.
I said that he wrestled Carson Wentz.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I said there you go. So it is a real school. Yeah, Pudilova minus 114, 8,200. Luana Carolina minus 106, 8K. Fight doesn't go 275. Over 2.5 is minus 405. I mean, those lines look god awful. Yeah, I mean, if you actually have anything to say, go ahead. If you're actually passing, then yeah, that as well.
I played baseball in high school. I don't know what the fuck. Dogfather is just like hearing all this shit from our Monday show, which, by the way, on this channel, Fight Factor, every Monday. Please go check it out. Me and Dogfather. Yeah, Brady just put his video out, and I honest to God, I thought he was going to quit on air. And this is a recorded video. Now he's literally just copying everything I said. He's like, no, I just said that as well. Play this video back, Josh. Play it back. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not betting it. Move on. I'm giving you a pick for this fight.
Yeah, for DraftKings, it's rough.
Decision at plus 105 is the play.
There you go. You can play a little tiny bit for DraftKings. I mean, Pudilova's 1-4 in her last 5. She should be 2-3. Luana, I mean, she's 3-2, but got double spinning elbowed by a fucking meatball. So yeah, play a little bit of them in case one of them sucks really bad more than the other. But yeah, there we go. Here we go. This is a beard right here. Lok Radzhabov taking on Trey Ogden minus 115 and minus 105, 8,400, 7,800 or plus 160 rather to go or doesn't go to decision. The over 2.5 minus 230, a dentist's favorite odds. Yeah, give me. I don't know, man. Trey Ogden's tough to play. Generally, does not score well. Then out of nowhere against Kurt Holobaugh, scores 117. Like absolutely dominates him on the ground. Tons of control time. Yeah, I don't mind. If I have to pick, I'm picking Carolina in that fight. Radzhabov has the obvious takedown upside. I mean, 15 in 3 fights. 11 of them came against a very good prospect, in my opinion, Esteban Ribovic. Yeah, no chill. I completely agree. He coaches at that gym. I think he's got a coach's mind, but for fighting, yeah, it's a bit interesting. I don't really trust Radzhabov, even though he did get that win against Ribovic, which I do like. Lost to Rebeshki, who's a damn good, I don't know if you can call him a prospect anymore, but up and comer. And then Abdul Karim Al Sawadi, I don't know really much about him. Yeah, that's true. I don't know, man. I want to pick Ogden, but also he does have a 100% takedown defense, Trey Ogden, but that's kind of fake. He's only had 3 takedowns attempted against him, and I believe 5 fights in the UFC. Yeah, 5 fights. So we're not really counting that. It is going to be tested against Loic. It's pretty basic. If he stuffs the takedowns, he's probably maybe going to win. I don't see him getting a ton of control time and taking Radzhabov down, but who knows? But if Radzhabov definitely has a takedown upside, probably the higher DraftKings upside. I will be playing Radzhabov at 8,400. That could be a huge value at the end of the day, but I'll also have a little bit of Ogden. So yeah, give me Radzhabov to win. Lou, what do you got?
I started the week off liking the Ogden side.
This is true.
And it's exactly for what No Chill said. I like the fact that I think he can stay safe. I think his cardio is good enough. I think his game plans are decent. Forget about the Levitt fight for a second. I mean, you look at it's funny because the Mata fight, I thought he was good. I mean, that was a win as far as I'm concerned. That Mata ending was terrible. The Holobaugh fight, is it just that Kurt Holobaugh is at this point where he hasn't been able to defend a takedown for years. So I don't.
Right.
Was it a great game plan saying, hey, I bet I can take this guy down? He's never close to hurting him, never close to finishing him. So I have a sneaky little prop I'm going to play here in lieu of playing a money line. I'm going to play the Radzhabov submission at plus 950.
Oh,
and this isn't just because Ogden's never been knocked out. It's because I feel like Ogden's not high volume, and he's probably going to be throwing a lot of teep kicks. But I don't think his punches are like really anything that Radzhabov's going to worry about. I also think Radzhabov's footwork is pretty bad, but I think that he's going to be able to get just close in range and start like wailing him. I think that's going to lead to Ogden absolutely panic shooting. And I think Radzhabov, depending on how the counter grappling goes, could very easily get a submission here on Trey Ogden. I don't look at 10-1, almost 10-1. I'm willing to take a very small shot on it. To Glenn's point, is the G and P KO live? I guess, but I don't see Radzhabov mount a lot of people when he's on the ground. So I don't know. I would think more this thing hits the ground because Ogden initiates it. Because I think on the feet, Radzhabov's going to know he's just all the finishing equity, all the power is there. So I will say the reason I'm only playing this prop and nothing else is we talked last week about the Erosa fight. And I know it's weird to compare the Erosa fight to this fight, but I'm comparing it in the sense that you looked at the money line and you looked at the total and you said, one of these numbers has to be wrong.
mm-hmm.
I know that Radzhabov has decision victories. Like, don't get me wrong. But you would feel like this over kind of screams to an Ogden decision win. So I'm going to say that Ogden wins the last 2 rounds of this fight and gets a 29-28 win. I'm going to take the poke on the sub and just go for like nonsense.
Yeah, plus 950. Gotta have it. Hopefully there's not a chest hair situation in this fight.
That was I was almost like my disappointed father voice when I broke
I could tell.
Like I need like a corncob pipe.
A fire in the background.
Yeah, you can handle this one for a second. I'll be right back.
Yes, unfortunately. Miranda Fear the Maverick taking on Dione Barboza, the Witch. Minus 224 for Miranda Maverick. I believe probably is she wider than Gibson? I don't remember. Super wide line here. 9,200 for Maverick. Barboza plus 189, 7K. Doesn't go to decision is plus 240, and the over 2.5 is minus 325. Maverick, like I said, 9,200. That's the issue here. Look, she has scored well. 110 against Mazo, 118 against Young, 104 against Cachoeira. So she does definitely have the ability to pay off her extremely. Actually, in all 3 of those fights, I believe she was 9,400. Wow. I'm gonna have to double check that, but I think that is right. She paid off that salary basically. So she does have the capability to do that against lower level fighters. No disrespect to Barboza, but I think that's what we have here. She was looking okay against Carrot Cake until she wasn't. She completely gassed out basically in the 3rd round and still held on for that unanimous decision. So I think Maverick is obviously a huge step up. She's going to have, possible takedowns. She's going to have possibility of control time. And really, your striking per minute hasn't been too bad. 4.2 against Young, 4.2 against JJ, 3 against Cachoeira, and 4.4 against Andrea Lee. That Lee fight was the only one she hasn't scored well in recently. And Andrea Lee is a veteran in the flyweight division, so that's not too surprising. Give me Miranda Maverick. I don't like paying 9,200, but this is cheaper than she's been in at least 3 out of her last 5 fights. So there is a chance that she pays it off. Flyweight division for women definitely is underrated as far as DraftKings. So give me Miranda Maverick at 9,200. And I don't mind a little punt on Barboza. I'm hearing some love for her this week, saying that maybe Maverick's a bit overrated. I don't mind that either way. I don't have a dog in this fight, so I'll have a little bit of Barboza as well. But the pick and majority of my ownership will be on Miranda Maverick, even though her nickname is fucking garbage. What do you got, Lou?
Yeah, the only person that was ever allowed to use "the" in their nickname was James Krause.
James Krause.
That it should be retired after that.
Exactly.
If I'm gonna bet this fight, it's going to be Maverick live after 1, and it will be based on whatever number we get.
Because you're thinking Barboza's coming out hot and then is going to slow down.
And let's put it this way: if Maverick wins the first round, I don't get a bet on this fight. I'm not gonna, I'll live.
Right.
I also talking to my dude Subhuman Gaucho, who is disappointingly not present at the moment now that he's a big star. And he did the round 3 and he did the round 3 KO. He took both, and I don't hate that look at 50-1. I think, that's a Lou bet, like
that's
all
a
of
Lou
that
special.
I don't know, man. I just don't like Barbosa's game at all. I don't think her, like, any kind of these judo throws are going to work on Maverick. I think with Maverick, you watch like Jasuda Vicious take her down. It's kind of like a mauling bully style, but like still, there's technical aspects to how she's like in stages getting takedowns. I don't think Barbosa is like that. I think Barbosa is a better striker, but like, is it really like, am I really worried about Barbosa knocking out Maverick? Like, no. I'm not a big Maverick fan here, but like, you're giving me the person that's been training a full camp for weeks and was training, I think this is important, was training for a wrestler. So like, it's not like she's pivoting completely, like her whole style here. And so I like Maverick to take over late. I am not a fan of round 3 decision bets, as you know, and the odds don't really adjust. It's still minus money. So like, for me, I'm not super interested, but I'd rather do Maverick live after 1. I mean, if she loses the first, you're probably going to get, we'll see. It depends. They've been a little sneaky lately with these things. If she takes damage, you might get her at plus money. If she doesn't take damage, but loses like a 10-9, it still might be like minus 110. And I'd say
minus 110 is not bad from minus 230.
Yeah, but I don't really like. I mean, that you're really just making a bet on, is she going to win round 2? So it's also gonna, and Karasete, I thought, won that fight, but close. I mean, she's training with Jazz. She's training with Rose apparently for a little bit too. So yeah, I think Maverick's the side here. I don't get excited to bet money lines like this for men, let alone women's MMA.
Right.
I didn't mean that to sound as horrible as it came off, but I really didn't.
No, we know. We know what you mean.
I think Maverick is a live bet. I'll pick Maverick to win. I really don't hate the round 3 KO here at 50-1. It's like, just, how do you not take, like, it's worth $5-10, man?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, Luke. Well, I'm still like years later talking about the Corey McKenna loss.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, why isn't she going for takedowns? What is going on?
What's happening right here? Well, here we go. I don't know if we'll see that. We might be hoping Gibson lands a takedown in this one. Cody Gibson is minus 190 and the most expensive fighter on the card. Never thought I would say those words. Brian Kelleher plus 165, 6,900. Nice. Fight doesn't go is minus 145. And the over 1.5 is minus 205. The under plus 165. Why don't you start us off here?
So before we go on, since you said the name Cody, I feel like I have to say a word about last week. So for all the people that were like writing me on Twitter, I didn't fight last week. I want you to know that. Cody Brundage fought. I didn't fight. So the amount of venom that I received.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I didn't fight, right? They're like, fuck you. He's your fucking boy. And I'm like, yes, I told him that. Yes, this was the game plan, dude. So I think one of two things should happen with Mr. Brundage going forward. Either number one, every fight he has going forward, he is required to wear like a metal plate on the back of his head.
No, he should just keep doing this. It's funny now.
Like a metal plate on the back of his head, so that like at least we'll hear like a ding. or every match he has going forward is no disqualification. And if we go with number two, might I suggest his first opponent be Brock Lesnar?
Oh yeah, steel cage match.
Luke is going to be Bork's manager, and I am going to be the special guest referee to make sure that
no shenanigans.
Yeah. So I don't want to really talk about that fight. I mean, I haven't said anything about it. I will say I am a little disappointed, and I'm very disappointed in the bet that I got pushed because of that. Very disappointed because that under looked like I mean,
dude, it's on a silver
minus
platter.
900. So this fight, you have a 1-5 guy in the UFC versus a guy who is like the bionic man in terms of reconstructed body parts. You have Kelleher, who's been just demolished, but by guys that would demolish Cody Gibson.
Yeah.
And like, so I was thinking about like, do I even want to get involved? Because for me, I could make a case to take the favorite. And I can see a way that Gibson at this point looks minus 190 if Kelleher just is really not throwing anything because his striking output's not great. Could I see Kelleher getting a guillotine? I mean, I thought about it. I think I would need like double digits on the sub prop at this point for Kelleher. I think Cody Gibson probably wins a decision, but like, I don't want any part of this. I mean, this is like a very variable, like, because even Kelleher at like his peak, was he really that like awesome? I don't think so.
No, look at the list of guys he's beat. I mean, it's like Kroom, Pilarte.
I mean, Kevin Kroom
on there.
Kevin Kroom's one of the worst to ever do.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Henan Barrow when he was
Barrow in 2018.
Yeah, so that's my pick, but Luke would like a question since Luke's whole lineups and everybody else's lineups went to shit last week because of the Brundage fight.
Honestly, I think it's
sub 10.
Excuse me. What's that?
Got to be like 5%, 6%
on Gibson
at most, right?
No,
at 9,300.
Dude, it's gonna be way higher than that.
9,300 with a minus 190 money line is. I mean, I realize that we're like it's a sliding scale. I get it, but like, no, Gibson doesn't have any good wins.
Well, yeah, but these guys both have like, I guess I was gonna say bad losses. That's not true. Kelleher, look at those three guys he's lost to: Garbrandt, Batista, and fucking Umar Nurmagomedov. So those are good losses. Yeah, exactly. Dot. What is Gibson's best win? I don't know, man. This is rough because Gibson's coming off 4 in a row. He's only fought twice.
I mean, Dodson, but Dodson was kind of like, you know.
Honestly, I think it's going to be fuck, man. In my heart, I think it's going to be 20%. I'm just throwing that out there. I think that there is a world where Gibson does pay off his salary, and I think there's a world where Kelleher fucking obviously pays off his salary too. So you got to play. You have to play both sides. Do I like it? No.
So my co-host on Mondays is not upset. If you got in early on Kelleher at like the plus 200 number,
right?
That's great. Then you did your job. Like that's solid. I mean, I think the line is still probably a little wide, to be honest. I don't think Cody Gibson is somebody who should really ever be this big a favorite over anybody at this level. So if the logic is he shouldn't be this big a favorite, then inherently Kelleher would be the side. I just worry that Kelleher at this point maybe could be gun shy. And like if I knew Kelleher is just going like, I just said I did like his bet. Why is he like? I just fucking said I did like his bet. Did he not hear me right? Dude, is my mic not working? I said I did like his bet. I said you did your job, dude. You beat the market. Like I said you liked it. God, I want to fucking punch him on Monday. Mr. D1 athlete. I'll punch him on Monday.
Yeah, it's not fun to play Gibson.
You know he's going to get Monday? He's going to get a proper Rogering is what he's going to get.
Oh, shit. Yeah, and it's the week
of.
So honestly, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking at least 15, 20. I don't think it's going to be in the single digits. Single digits, it's like It's like a Juliana Pena against
what does he
fucking
score
Amanda
on a win?
Nunes.
What does Gibson score on a win?
What is how does he win though?
Who,
What
Gibson?
it does is Kelleher? If Kelleher's fucking done, then there's a super chance that he finishes the fight somehow.
Well, what is Luke asking us to explain?
I don't know.
Luke
Not
is gonna
sure
have to be-
why I'm like
proper rogering. He probably wants to know the proper rogering. Well, Luke, we're in jolly old England next week for UFC 304. Oh, look who's in chat. Look at this. Look what the cat dragged in. Look at the fucking cat dragged in. Luke, to answer your question properly, it's just what the Yambag play is going to be for next week. If you can contextually visualize somebody giving somebody else a proper rogering, like you met a nice young lass in the local pub, and she, I don't know, I can't do a British accent really well, so I'm gonna just stop where I'm going with this right now. But like, yeah,
it's a rogering.
Yeah, Luke sometimes. Yeah, here, well, I mean, I'm not going to put with Justin. I rarely don't put things up. I'm going to probably not put that one up. If you're reading it live, that's fine. I'm going to, and it's rare that I don't put something up, but.
Too good. Maybe we'll find out next week. Tune in to the Way Past That channel. Young Lee.
Just know that it was somehow worse than what I said.
Taking on Hyder Emil. Lee is minus 188, 9,100. Emil plus 163, 7,100. Minus 140. Fight doesn't go. And the under, 2.5, minus 125. Look, Young Lee is $9,100. What do we get with that? Well, he scored 72 points against Blake Builder, landed 3 strikes a minute, 2 takedowns, 30% control time, and didn't do fucking anything else. And then Jia Yi, he scored less than 50 in that win that he got in the split decision. You take out 3-round scoring and just go on stats, he definitely lost that fight. I mean, he got taken down 5 times. He was controlled for 55% of 15 minutes and had even striking. So what are we doing there? Dude scores like shit so far. Why am I going to pay 9,100 for that? Unless I think he's going to finish Hyder Emil. Maybe Lou will tell me otherwise. But yeah, Emil looked much better. I mean, he put up 132. Granted, it was against Fernie Garcia, who loves getting points scored on him. But 11 strikes a minute, a takedown, a knockdown, and a second-round finish still got him 131 points. So he is 7,100 this week. Obviously, I like his upside much more. Lee is going to be much more talented probably than Fernie Garcia. But I think Emil's fine to play at 7,100. Look, I haven't said this yet. Cash this week, don't play it. Just play GPPs. Cash is fucking terrible this week. Save your money for next week. But yeah, exactly, Green King. That's why you have to play a little bit of Lee at 9,100. I still think that's way too much for a guy that scores 2 points a minute so far in 30 minutes across 2 UFC fights. 2 points a minute. This is Derek Lewis numbers without the extremely high knockout upside. So I like Emil. For the pick, I don't know. I'm for Emil or for DraftKings, I'm taking Hyder Emil. So that's how I see that one. Lou, what do you got?
I mean, Lee opened as such a bigger favorite too, so money did come in on Emil early, and then it's kind of plateaued at this point from a market standpoint. This total is confusing to me because you have 2 guys that have never been finished. Hyder Emil's never lost,
right?
But that's just like basic capping. The problem is Emil's been hurt and rocked a ton of times, He's hittable. And on the Lee side, it looks like he has some good power. His boxing is good. Looks like his takedown defense is good. But he's never really he's not facing guys that like pressure. And Blake Builder is just a bum. He's awful. So I don't know how Lee's going to deal with Emil pressuring him. I also think
that was a bar.
I also don't know how Emil's going to deal getting cracked by probably the hardest puncher he's faced. He's there to get hit. So I don't want to say this is binary where it's Lee early or Emil late. because I'm not certain. I think Emil live is interesting after one. You're going to get like a dynamite price on this guy. I mean, look, he knocked out Fernie Garcia, who's a tough dude. But it's also Fernie Garcia. And Fernie Garcia is terrible. Blake Builder's, I mean, I don't want to do like MMA math, but like Blake Builder is as bad as he is. He's better than Fernie Garcia. I think. I think he is. I can't say that with certainty. I'd be curious. Actually, I don't want them to fight. No. I don't want them to fight. I'm going to say that Haider Emil gets through the first round. Yeah. The Builder is just, he looks like he's like role-playing a fighter. He's cosplaying a fighter. I'm going to say that Emil, and I don't have a lot of confidence here, but I'm going to say that Emil survives the first. And then as this fight goes on, if he's just continuing to pressure in the second, eventually gets a takedown, or at the very least, gets some cage control, starts wearing on Lee. And then the third round should be Emil at that point. Again, there's just a lot of guesswork with this one because it's the best guy each one's faced. And again, you're seeing two guys who've never been finished. Lee's never even really been like super hurt. And then the under would suggest that it's Lee by KO. So, but
the tattoo,
I think it's like, I'm kind of cool sitting back and watching it and maybe not getting invested in it.
The tattoo of a man's face inside of a lion's mouth doesn't sway you?
All right, I'm picking Lee.
Yes.
Now, which one am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to say that Lee has that dog in him?
Well, I don't know. Isn't Lee the you
look,
fucking
that
you
comment
fucking
might have got me.
You fucking got me.
It might have got me a free beer tomorrow, dude.
I was gonna say, I was just gonna say something, and then I figured it out.
Tommy, that's my free beer, right, bro?
That's a free beer for sure. You earned it. Here we go. Speaking of free beer, maybe you can buy him one after.
Unsubscribe, Luke. God damn it, man.
So I was gonna say, speaking of what?
Hold on. We have finally had a good use of it this week, so I don't want to shit on it. But it was Pepe being ridiculous, like always, saying, "Does anybody have more aura than the Iron Turtle styling over Durayev's body?" Like,
well, no is the answer. No.
Don't leave, please. We need every viewer we can get. Thank you.
Here we go. Your boy,
my
Bill
boy.
Algeo, minus 162, 8,900, taking on Duho Choi, UFC Hall of Famer, plus 142, 7,300, plus 135. Fight doesn't go. The over 2.5 is minus 180.
You just call him a Hall. I know why you did, but that's funny.
Yeah, his name's in the UFC Hall of Fame.
Fight, I know the fight is. He's not in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, his name is in there.
I got you.
It's on the wall somewhere.
Yeah, pictures of him dying.
That's like people when it's technicality. When people say I don't have any hair on my head, I say, well, your face is part of your head, right? I got tons of hair on my head. That's what it is with Duho Choi in the Hall of Fame. Ooh, I like this.
And his coach, Mr. Corner.
Very alliterative as well.
Mr. Corner has to be there as well as
Luke.
Crew.
Resubscribe to the. Come on back in.
Make new Gmail accounts and add them as well.
I'll start this one. I like Algeo, obviously. Choi, only one fight since his military service. The Kyle Nelson fight went to a draw. Got taken down 5 times, controlled for almost 40% of that fight, and I mean, he landed 50 strikes, but only 3.3 per minute. Sorry, Justin. They're going to learn some new words tonight. Plus, Algeo has, they're two great nicknames, but Algeo has the better nickname. I just like Algeo's upside. His volume is there. 7.5 against Kyle Nelson. 7.3 strikes a minute. Hernandez, 9.6. TJ Brown, 5.4 and 4.1. Those are really, really good numbers for someone I would consider more of a grappler when I think about Bill Algeo in my head. So I love to see those numbers. I like the control time. He's getting takedowns when he needs to. And he will absolutely fight for your money, which is the most important part of this. I love Algeo this week at 8,900. He's one of the very few players that I kind of like for cash. I don't trust him completely, but I am comfortable rostering him there. And he's less than 9K this week, which is very good. The 9K range is quite trash this week. So give me Algio. Lou, what do you got?
I mean, really? You're asking me who I'm fucking picking? Come on, dude. Of course I'm picking Algio.
Are you betting on him, though?
I was one of the few people that did not think the Algio stoppage was a bad stoppage necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sucked as a fan of his, and it certainly sucked as somebody who had a bet on him. But he got tagged 8 to 10 times in a row. I mean, it was over like the course of 20 seconds. But, dude, his hands were down. And this is the problem with Algio. He fights with his hands down. He's like, he's like a bro that just thinks he can, like, out-bro you in the first round. This is why he just gets hit a lot. And, can Choi knock him out early? I don't think so. I know he lost to now. People are going to be like, well, he got knocked out by Conor. First of all, he didn't get violently knocked out either. He got stunned and then he kind of never recovered. I mean, obviously, Choi, it's possible. Did we forget that Algio, didn't die against Joe Anderson Brito?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm not really worried about Choi knocking him out. Like, Nelson knocking him out is 2%. At best.
I mean, it was surprising, but yeah.
But also, if I know Algio, and I do, and if I know Eric Garner, and unfortunately, I know Eric Garner, I will guarantee you this guy's been in the gym 6 hours a day, every day since that fight, working on his striking defense. I will guarantee it. With these Nook Toy guys, they're amazing in terms of their assholeness. And I'm saying that as a compliment. So I don't think Algio is going to get hit. I'd actually like it if Algio shot a takedown in the first round. Would be a little different for him. Because the way you historically beat Algio is by taking him down. The guy's takedown defense is bad. Most of it's because he doesn't like defense. And the other is because he has no problem playing on the ground.
Right.
But I think in this case, if Algio would be proactive, I think he could get on top of Choi. And then that's when he starts weaponizing his cardio. Just immediately get to this guy. I
should have an obvious size advantage.
And I don't really know what the point of Choi is at this point. He came in as, a prodigy and then didn't go well. And then he took time off. I don't know if he's in the military or not.
Yeah, I think he took 4 years off for that.
There he is. There's my guy. So by the way, these guys, this is Sports Money Crew. My guy Mike, guy Subhuman. Go check out First Strike on their channel. 12 minutes long. They do a couple of fights. They're going to be on Props to Consider in a couple of weeks. Good group of guys. Very much in the spirit of personality of this channel, I would say. Nice. Very much Lou and Monk type of people, for sure. But give me Algio here. I don't see a finish. I think Bill... Usually I would say this, but I actually think Algio's for once live to win the first round. If he doesn't, I would just add on to it. Yeah, he throws janky ass strikes, everything's from his hips. But I don't think Choi's the guy to really exploit it. And I think Algio just has a pretty tremendous wrestling advantage and grappling advantage if he really wants it. So I'd like to think that after Algio got knocked out, that's probably going to be part of the game plan here. So give me Algio. That's probably a decision. I don't know how a finish materializes on the Algio side. He doesn't really care. He doesn't show a ton of urgency for finishes typically. Herbert Burns died.
Right.
And then it took Algio 3 more minutes to finish him after he was dead. And there we go. He was waiting for this one.
There we go. All right. Did I really do that? Jesus.
Yeah, dude, yes. You fucked up, son. You fucked up. Put it back up there.
Oh,
come on, Silva.
It's Silva. I thought it was another Korean guy, and I just didn't change it. So now I don't feel so bad. I'm fine with this mistake. I'm fine with this one.
Is this anti-racism? I can't tell. Are you overcompensating for your partner here? What are you doing?
Maybe we're gonna have to get a psychologist in here. I think
because now I want to say something that I can't on air, so I'm just gonna type it in the private chat. And that's gonna be it.
Well, it's awesome because it sucks because Bruno Silva has an awesome picture, so that does suck. Cody Durden -119. These lines might be messed up then too. I hope I fucking got those right. 8,300. Silva, Bruno, not.
I gotta walk away. I gotta walk away for a second. Dude.
minus 101, 7,900. Fight doesn't go as plus 140. The over 2.5 minus 220. Yeah, I love this fight for DraftKings, actually. I'm going to play both sides of it. Bruno Silva is coming off of 3 finish wins. Granted, those are against guys like JP Bays, Victor Rodriguez, and Tyson Nam. So we're not putting a ton of stock in those. I think Cody Durden is better than all 3 of those guys. Durden's 4-1. Yeah, exactly, JP. I just cannot. I got to look at him twice, apparently. Durden's coming off the loss to Tajir Ulanbekov. But he's beat Hadley, Johnson, some okay names. The Charles Johnson one especially is aging very well. He scored almost 130 points in that Charles Johnson fight, 11 takedowns, 64% control time. So yeah, I'm playing both sides. I think I'm picking Cody Durden, but I do think Silva does have a good shot. The problem is for me is not quite, I mean, I hate saying ring rust, but he hasn't had a fight since March 11th of 2023. That's almost 500 days. So I do kind of get a little sketched out when stuff like that happens. So I'm going to take some Cody Durden, but I'm definitely playing both sides. And the Bruno Silva flyweight, you know, every time you see Bruno Silva, you kind of go, oh God, but this is not the middleweight. This is the flyweight. Lou's back. Good. I'm done talking about this one. What do you got?
I mean, it's crazy that Silva hasn't fought so long. Yeah. Time to get a nice bowl cut. Fucking move halfway around the world.
That's right. Switched camps. South Korean top team.
I'm having I have a problem with this fight because it's like Silva's the more dangerous guy for sure. And he's beaten and he's like looked better against better competition. Like, I mean, the Tajir, I guess, common opponent, whatever.
Nice.
And honestly, like Durden he's good at spamming takedowns. Like that's what he's good at. And his cardio I don't think people think he's like fucking Ronnie Lawrence. Like he's not. He's good. But he's hittable and he makes mistakes on the ground. And Silva, like, I mean, even this Silva, I can't, I don't know. I'm so thrown off right now. Like, this is like you intentionally tried to make me unprofessional and it's working. It's completely working.
It was totally intentional.
Because listen, if I'm known for anything, it's my commitment to professionalism.
That's true. The paragon of virtue.
My commitment to being a fucking professional. Where's my sombrero? Do I need it now? Like, do I need a sombrero?
He's in South Korea.
So they don't wear sombreros in South Korea. They're not allowed to celebrate Mexican heritage. They're not allowed to watch Noche. They're not allowed to watch Noche, sir.
They likely don't wear sombreros, but they are allowed, of course. This isn't North Korea, Lou.
Here's why I struggle with this fight. I think any of the optics for damage is Silva, and I don't even think that's like debatable. And what era are we in, dude? Especially because we're in the apex. In the era of 4 minutes of control versus a couple of strikes doesn't really do the job anymore. The other reason I'm struggling with this, because like I want to take Durden, but the other concern I have is that Durden really hasn't faced dudes who go for calf kicks. He faced Chris Gutierrez, that was like 4 years ago. He faced Charles Johnson, but Johnson doesn't throw a lot of, like, Johnson throws kicks to set up his boxing. Like, he's not throwing kicks. He's not throwing like shin kicks with malicious intent. Silva will be. I also think Silva's he's no slouch on the ground either. But I feel like Silva probably has to win the first 8-9 minutes of this fight to win. And that's why I'm, and the line right now, I don't feel like we're getting a ton of value. Like, I think it's probably close to accurate. So I'm going to pick Bruno Silva with, I don't have a ton of conviction on this. I don't know that I'm going to bet it, but I will say this, as much as I just picked Bruno Silva, if this line moves crazy one way or the other, and I don't expect it to really move too much more, but if some steam comes in on Silva and Durden goes to like plus 110, I mean, then I'm going to probably end up on the Durden side. But I think Silva gets a little more optics here. But I think the line's close to accurate. So I don't know if we're getting any value on it. And apparently Jeff is not Jeff is not my fan anymore. It lasted one fight. He liked me for one fight. He's like, fuck this guy. It's like, I had enough.
Do you think he shaves this part of his mustache?
I don't know. That it definitely bothers me. Like, his face bothers me. Like, a lot of him bothers me. So, like, and obviously, you know, I don't know, man. I think it's good. Look, it's a great fight. If Durden was like a little more defensively responsible with strikes, I'd click him in a heartbeat. That's what I worry about, and the leg kicks. So,
do you think it's more of
Durden's just got to close distance like as fast as possible? That's his path.
Do you think if it's more of a Ron Swanson thing where he didn't shave it, it's just wore off?
Right from
yeah, God, right. Cody Durden, everybody. Here we go. Here we go. Speaking of hair that's worn off, well, maybe that's not. Maybe that's just white hair. I can't tell. Kanan Khrushchevsky, Coach K, minus 135, 8,700, taking on Kurt Hollabaugh, plus 115, 7,500. Fight doesn't go as minus 180. The over under 1.5, minus 205, plus 165. Yeah, from the lovemaking. Why don't you start us off here, Lou? Because Jesus, fucking Kurt Hollabaugh. What are we doing?
Okay, so I wanted to bet Kurt Hollabaugh because I think he's got more durability. I think his striking's better. I mean, I don't like the way that Khrushchevsky fights from the hip. But I'm going to end up not betting this, and the reason is Khrushchevsky. You know where he trains now?
Fuck yeah, I do. The greatest camp in the world.
So Fighting Nerds have like a 98-0 record, and you have like in the last year
98-1. Oh no, was Khrushchevsky with them in his last fight? Oh no. Well, yeah. Here we go.
So I'll be honest, I've been fading this camp. No, yeah, I've been fading this camp, like, and I'm just done kind of getting in the way of it. This is what I said about Diego Lopes a couple weeks ago. And then you know what happened? And you know what happened? The whole Ige thing happens, and I'm like, all right, small bet on Ige. So, like, I'm still apparently did not learn my lesson. I'm like, well, he's 3-1. I got to bet him, like, because I'm an idiot and I hate money. But the problem I have here is, like, so Hollabaugh, look, how do you beat him? Like, you could take him down. You know, Ogden showed that. He's pretty durable.
Everybody's fucking showed that.
I don't know that I trust Khrushchevsky to have like a strong 15-minute outing against him. Like, and that's what I think he needs. If it's on the feet and they're just winging bombs at each other, I have to favor Hollabaugh, don't I? He's more durable. They both hit. I think they both hit about as hard. I don't think there's a huge power advantage either way. Just because his name is like Crusher, just because it's crushing his name doesn't make him like a fucking
chew. He's gonna chew right through him.
So I feel like I don't want to get in the way of Fighting Nerds, but if I take that out of the equation, I think this is Hollabaugh's fight to lose. I think he's the better technical guy. I don't think Khrushchevsky wrestles. I think this is probably 15 minutes on the feet, and if it is, I think Hollabaugh's the better fighter. I think he's the more accurate striker. I think he's the better defensive one, and he's got the better chin. So I would favor Hollabaugh in a 15-minute striking fight. It's the Fighting Nerds thing that's just totally keeping me off this. So I'm going to pick Hollabaugh anyway. I'm going to pick Hollabaugh to win. I'm not betting it because Khrushchevsky is just fighting with the camp that can do no wrong. Also, is Gene Silva fighting next week?
I hope so.
It's been like a week. I mean, I don't know why he doesn't have a fight booked.
Get him in
England. Guy's going to be fighting fucking Makhachev in like 3 months at this rate.
Yeah, he's going to be on the Abu Dhabi card.
He's going to fight Topuria and Makhachev in like the same month. It's going to take all the titles.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. Yeah, man. I mean, Kurt Hollabaugh, he was 7,500. He's only beaten Austin Hubbard in his last at least 5. Maybe I don't know how much further past that. But he's only had 2 fights since his departure in 2019. Austin Hubbard, and then lost to Trey Ogden. Gave up a shitload of points, 117 to Trey Ogden. That dude struggles to score 70 in every other fight. So that's a shitload of points there. I obviously love the fact that Krzyzewski is now with the Fighting Nerd, so I'm loving that. And even his first UFC fight, I'm not putting a ton of stock in that loss. The dude fought Elves Brenner. Like, obviously, this dude is extremely tough, extremely durable. Super. Yeah, I saw that today, dude. In the first round, Kristen, in the first round.
Hold on. If he broke both his hands, Dober won. As far as I'm concerned.
No, but now never mind. I'm not bringing that up. No chill. What's going on? Wasn't God, now I have to. Wasn't there? No, I can't do it. I like Kane and Krzyzewski. Elves Brenner, I mean, like I was saying, dude was tough. He started that one fight with blonde hair, finished it with completely red hair. Like, the dude is super tough, so I don't judge that first round loss too hard. I want to see what Kanan can do here. I think the price is okay. I'll have some of both sides, but I do think Hollabaugh is expensive for what we usually get, which, I mean, he's getting a ton of strikes landed on him. 7.1, 7.8, 4.4, 6, and then 2.3 against Ogden, who's super low volume. So, yeah, give me Krzyzewski. I was going to say something about his nickname, but now I cannot remember, so who cares? Here we go. Look at this.
Dude, another picture of Wonder Boy. Come on, what are you doing, man?
I was waiting for that.
How many choices are you going to put on the screen, dude?
Well, tell me this. Who's more excited for this fucking card? Because they both look like they could not care less. Steve Garcia.
Choi looks like he smoked the worst weed that's ever been on the planet.
And Garcia
He's like,
is
oh my God, brown frown again. What?
And Garcia is just mad that he has to be in the same room with him.
Garcia just hates Sears. That's it.
He's for sure. For sure. Yeah, main event. Exactly. Minus 145, 8,600. Choi is plus 125, 7,600. Minus 500. Doesn't go to decision. The under 1.5 is minus 201. Lou, start us off here.
I'm sure that's all brown, and it's all brown frown too. I don't think Garcia's ever spent more than $25 on an eighth.
Brown frown.
You know what I'm saying? This one's. I mean, if you think I'm picking against my guy Steve Garcia here, you're crazy. And the round 2 KO for Garcia 7-1. That's my favorite prop on this card.
Oh wow. What's up, Easy?
It's Steve fucking Garcia, man. Like, I love this dude. Yeah, Mahashate got him. I mentioned this earlier in the week. Garcia, he's one of those dudes, like, I don't like betting him as a favorite. I like he's been an underdog in these 3 fights. Against Chase Hooper, he was like, more than 3-1. But like, I don't know. Choi's hard for me because his striking defense is so bad. He's getting knocked down by like crappy dudes, but his power is good. Like, somebody was bringing up, oh, well, it's no big deal. He knocked out Arosa. I'm like, no, he hit Arosa with a shot that would have knocked out anybody. Like, he might be the reason Arosa's chin is dust. That was and I had a bet on Arosa that night too. I mean, that was a perfect shot. That would have knocked out anybody. So that's not like Arosa's chin is dust. That was a good shot. But when I watch Choi fight, like, it's weird because I don't think his striking defense is good. But I feel like he waits for the perfect shot, which is like a horrible combination. It's a absolutely horrible combination. If you're going to wait for the perfect shot and be patient, at least you should have striking defense. Like, it's weird. So Garcia, he doesn't have time for striking defense. He's busy. He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
He's there to go in. He's there to get hurt because it's every fight. I mean, that's exactly where I was going with. I mean, he gets hurt by Oliveira. He's getting hurt by everybody. Well, except Chase Hooper, but he hit Hooper before he knew what the hell happened. So, who do I trust to weather the storm more? I gotta trust Steve Garcia. He fights for my money. Who do I trust if there's going to be any grappling equity in this fight? It's Steve Garcia. And it's not like Garcia's going for grappling and then, like, he's not going for like a flying toe hold.
Right.
He's going for ground and pound. Like, if Garcia gets him down, he's trying to mount him and just beat his ass. I trust Garcia a little more to weather the storm. And I mean, look, man, it's Steve Garcia. This is all he's got. He needs this. I've heard he's getting paid in ounces of brown frown for this one.
I love it that you keep saying brown frown. It makes
Well,
me happy.
come on, man. That's all we had back in my day, back in the 70s,
right.
back in the early 70s when I grew up. That's all we had. That and Quaaludes. That's all we had.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
So I like Garcia round 2 KO. As far as playing this under, I mean, I don't like minus 200 for unders that aren't like heavyweight.
This is probably something I said.
It's probably something. It's probably something I said. There's no fucking way that happens.
I do it every other week. Like, there's no way Nasrat Hackparas is gonna fucking, and then fucked.
So I gotta go with Garcia. I will say that I get the love on Choi in terms of, but I feel like if you're betting on Choi, you're betting on Garcia being completely hittable, as opposed to a bet on Garcia where you're like, he's going to fight for your money. He could go for a takedown. He can weather the storm. So I like Garcia here. I think the price is completely reasonable. Minus 145. You're not laying a ton of juice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the market still hates Garcia. That's the funny thing. Like, you have a guy in a winning streak, in my opinion, taking a step down in competition from Mel Costa. And he's barely a favorite. So, like, but let me guess. Are you going to have like 100% of this fight in a lineup? Or?
Pretty fucking close, yeah. And most of it's probably, a lot of it's going to be Steve Garcia, honestly. I mean, just historically, his last 5 fights have all ended win or loss by KO TKO. The longest of them is the Sideshow Bob Charlie Ontiveros fight, which lasted almost into the 7th minute, or almost into the 8th minute, rather. So yeah, it was super quick for the most part. He's out here scoring pretty good points, either 90 or 70 bonus points per win. And then Sungwoo Choi, he's only gone to decision twice in his past 5 fights. We've got the Trezano KO, second round sub from Caceres, and then the Julian Erosa win that you talked about. So yeah, I love this inside. I mean, minus 500. It's by far the widest, doesn't go on the entire card. The next closest is like minus 180. And we're getting that.
It's like the main event in 5 rounds is like the next closest thing.
Yeah, and we're getting that for 8,600 and 7,600. So I love this fight. I'm gonna have a lot on Steve Garcia. I know I was like, oh, I love fucking Christian Rodriguez. I like Steve Garcia this week. Hopefully, it's not a Christian Rodriguez.
Can we address this?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Okay, so I try. Well, I mean, we'll let chat have their say, but Luke, we're boys. Luke and I have been friends since pretty much the start of my, being a thing.
I'm gonna be so mad if this goes the distance.
So Luke, what would you have me do? Let me know in chat what you think. I mean, I think at this point he kind of knows my. I think Luke knows my like tolerance level. Like he knows like the peak of it. So Luke, you tell me what I should do next week if it goes the distance, and I will. There's like a 95% chance I'll agree to it. Also, him and I have a very similar sense of humor, so I'm sure he's like, he had to have something. Luke, you have to have something in mind if you're putting this out there. So you tell me what you'd like me to do. Keep in mind, this is a new channel. I'd prefer it to get thrown off, but we can always make a third channel.
That's true.
We'll just come up with a whole new thing.
Further,
the new channel can be called way past that.
Further past that, yeah.
Further past that, and
just sub to it now.
Yeah, just wait.
Here we go.
I'm already creating it.
Co-main event, apparently with the 5'8" Jun Young Park at minus 160, 9K, taking on why did I say William Tavares? Brad Tavares plus 140, 7,200.
It's only the guys on the right are just fucking you up tonight.
Dude, yeah. I don't know what it is. Fight doesn't go is at plus 155, and the over 2.5 is minus 215. Why don't you start this one off?
This is another one, man. Like, I mean, you got 3 of my favorite guys in the UFC. 3 of like my favorite 10 guys on this card. You got Algio, you got Steve Garcia, and you got the Turtle. Mm-hmm. Luke, you got to the end. Luke, you got to the end of the show, or just DM me. Like, you got to the end of the show to like come up with a concept. So here's my problem with it. Now I got a problem with this fight too, dude. And this is the thing. It's all week's been like this. if Park can't get takedowns, and I'm not convinced that he can, so this is a 15-minute striking fight, I would favor Tavares. Now, or I think it's razor close. And in that case, you have to take the plus money.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm betting against the fucking Iron Turtle, and I don't want to do that. But if you look at some of these fights the Iron Turtle's had, you know, if it's just a lot of striking, I feel like he gets a little predictable as the fight goes on. I think this is a really interesting look. I really do. The only thing that here's what I worry about. And like neither, it's not just Tavares split. I think you just play. I think the split decisions and then take both sides. I like the concept of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they say the reach advantage is only 1 inch for Tavares. I am not certain. I feel like that's not accurate. I feel like Tavares should. I think he has a little more reach. I could be wrong. I guess we'll see. I mean, Tavares is having some durability issues, but it's not like Park is some one-hit knockout guy. Like, you know,
right.
He works the body, but Tavares has good cardio. So, like, I think it's kind of a 15-minute play, a 15-minute fight. And I'm going to, you know what? No, fuck it. I'm picking Park, dude. I got to pick the fucking
yeah.
But like, that's the problem is, like all week I've been saying this. Like, since the Monday show, this is when I'm in more confident reads.
Oh, shit.
All right, done.
No, you shave the middle like fucking Cody Durden.
I'll tell you what. I agree to the terms. Luke, you can tell me exactly what you want me to do on air.
No, there's only one thing everyone's gonna say.
Well, but this is Luke's.
It's the reverse Cody Durden.
Oh God, I'm gonna have like a chin strap and a fucking.
No, he's missing this.
I'm not doing the Hitler. You want to do Hitler?
The reverse Cody Durden. Everyone's gonna say the Hitler. Everyone says the Hitler. This is a reverse Cody Durden.
Dude, you're giving me a card all week. I'm trying to like be on my best behavior. Now you're gonna make me
you said it first. This is the first. No, never mind.
You know, I don't know if you guys. I just so you know,
this is a big jump from shaving your mustache.
No, we already had one tattoo bet in this community. I'm good with that.
Dream, believe, and make it.
You know, the more I've read about this Hitler guy, the more I don't like him. Do you know that?
He sounds like a real jerk.
He's a real jerk.
This
guy's a real jerk. I'm gonna pick the Iron Turtle. I don't think I can get a bet on this, man. This is such a difficult fucking. Honest to God, I could see Tavares edging a split decision here, and I'm gonna be miserable. I also will just end reminding you guys that my record on co-main events is like no fucking way. No, nope. That's why Luke had 0. I rate that at negative 90%. None. She is and will remain.
Can you imagine?
She is and will remain a non-playable character on stream that just yells at me once in a blue moon. I don't even know if she has her headphones on. I don't know what the fuck she's doing right now.
Tomorrow,
no, the answer is no to that one. Hard no, and she would probably agree with that as well.
What are you gonna do? Parlay Park or propose on air? Which one are you gonna do?
We've been together for 28 years. We're fine. Dude, what steps are we taking?
That's the only reason I put that.
How do you go? You know, I'll tell you what. I picked a goddamn good week to be sober for the show because, like, if I was drunk right now, like these ideas would have gotten. I'd have been like, you can do better than that. Like, let's go. And now I'd have been. So, like, all right. You know what? Now I'm done. Just go ahead.
So good. I'll be quick. Yeah, you can't. I mean, I say, like I just said, this is the weekly. Monk says don't play this guy. So that means you can play him if you want. But I say don't play Brad Tavares. That sounds like a fucking broken record. This guy never scores well. 75 points. 60 points against Weidman. But it's true. I mean, he never scores well. He's had 25 fights, or this is his 25th fight in the UFC, and he's averaging 70 points per win. That is absolute dog shit. He gives up 100 when he loses as well. So that is interesting for me. Makes me like Jun Young Park a little bit. I am probably picking him to win, but 9K for Jun Young Park to win a decision over Brad Tavares, that is something I'm not most interested in really at all. In fact, let's see. That's actually not true in his last 5. What is it?
I mean,
total?
the Park KO shit too. It's like
it is. It is. Now, statistically, when Park wins unanimous decisions, he scores 110 points, which is wild. But when he wins split decisions, it's 77. So we'll take in the middle. He's scoring, not really great on decisions total. Yeah, I don't know, man. 9K just seems like a lot. The side for me is Park, but I'll have some in DraftKings. I'm not confident. I wouldn't play this in cash. And like I said, Tavares is the Monk. Don't play him pick of the week. So do with that what you will.
Do you know what I worry about? You know how I'll always bet Slava Claus because I want to see the dance?
Mm-hmm.
I worry that I'm going to bet Park because I want to see him do the whole.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It was so good.
Yes, it would be. And I'm worried that's affecting my process.
That's aura, Lou.
Yeah, I don't want to. But I'm affecting my process by being like, I just want to watch a guy dance.
That's true. That's true. I think we should start doing that. I got to pick this week's Monk says don't play that guy pick of the week. That's what we're going to start doing.
Now, if I had more time.
Ooh, here we go.
If I had more time to do it, I think that would be really funny. By the way, just so you guys know, it finally happened. Chris Curtis finally blocked me on Twitter.
I was going to say, maybe if you lose the bet, you have to convince him to unblock you.
He finally blocked me. And the problem is I only learned right after he was saying all this shit about all these conspiracies Saturday. I'll keep politics completely out of this. All these conspiracies, and I would have been blocked had I not been blocked before. I had to explain to Chris Curtis why O.J. Simpson was a bad person. He didn't understand that O.J. Simpson, and I never got the chance. Maybe he thinks Bill Cosby's a good person.
Maybe.
You know who thinks Bill Cosby's a good person though? Rudy.
There it is. That was a good one. That was a good one. On that note, we did it. Last fight of the night, Virna Jandiroba taking on Amanda Lemos. Why does Lemos look severely malnourished in this picture? -138 for Virna. Yes, okay. I was hoping it was a Virna hat, but this will suffice. 8,500 for Virna. 118.
You know where I'm going with this.
Plus 118 for Amanda. 7,700 her salary. -180 fight doesn't go. And the over-under set for 2.5 in this 5-round fight. The over's at -171. I will start us off here. We all know Amanda Lemos allowed 600,000 points to Zhang Wei Li. And then she also got standing arm triangled by Jessica Andrade in 3 minutes. So neither one of those things are very good. But Virna's probably not Zhang Wei Li. And I don't think she's going to standing arm triangle Amanda Lemos here. Obviously, and I hate saying this shit, this is a super binary fight, but it kind of is. Jandiroba, her striking a little lackluster, as they say. I mean, the most strikes she's landed per minute in her last 5 is 3.6 against Kanako Murata, and it only gets worse from there. Sub 1 strike a minute against Angela Hill. In fact, she landed just 14 strikes in 15 minutes in that fight. So not really looking for striking, but obviously her grappling is what she's looking for. The takedowns, the control time, that's where she gets her points. Meanwhile, Amanda Lemos, every second this fight is on the feet. You've heard it from every capper there is. She's going to be probably winning. So very binary, as they say. 8,577. Look, I stacked the main event last week, and it ended up scoring 180 points, something like that. So not terrible. I suppose I could see that happening here, but I think it's going to be a little bit less than that. So I'm not going to be quite as big as I was on the main event last week. Obviously, I was heavier on Rose. This week, I don't know. I might be about the same, actually, about the same exposure between both of them. So if I have to pick, I'm going to pick Virna. I'm going to pick Jandiroba for the win, even though late in the fights, I am a bit concerned as to how we're going to look. So if this gets into 4 and 5, I'll be worried. So yeah, give me Virna. I don't mind the stack because this card is so crazy for fucking DraftKings, but yeah, I don't mind either one of these ladies. Both score decently when they win. Lou, take us home.
So did you see Verna's interview yesterday?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, you didn't hear what she said about this matchup? She
No.
said,
and then she said, "Chee wee wees."
I got him again.
You did. You fucking
and
did.
Another one. And another one.
I didn't even see that comment until now.
Well, you're such a professional. It's locked in. You don't need to look at the chat. Whereas I am just I'm a rascal.
You are a rascal. That's true.
I'm a rascal.
A scoundrel.
It's another like super tricky fight here. And that's a very specific, like 3% range, dude. I mean, like I have it capped. Sorry, I that's very unprofessional of me. I have it capped at 21.6%. I want to sound like the pros. So let's talk about how this goes to
oh
decision.
Shit.
How does this fight go to decision?
Their child would be a god.
Is Jandiroba going to be able to grapple effectively? Because on the feet, it's one-way traffic. This is not a hot take. Lemos is the better striker.
Right.
It's not a very hot take. Can Jandiroba effectively top time Lemos or just backpacker for over 25 minutes? Because it's not like Lemos is a slouch on the ground. But
right.
Here's the problem. There's been good moments from Lemos on the ground where she stays defensively responsible. There's been some very bad minutes on the ground from her. Dern was crushing her. You know, Andrade getting a standing choke is not on the ground, but was certainly not a good look. So I don't know. On the Virna side, I can see a decision from her. On the Lemos side, I don't know what it really looks like. I know Jandiroba's never been knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
If Lemos is getting success early in this fight and Jandiroba just can't get entries and can't get takedowns, I think Lemos knocks her out of there. So a Lemos decision looks like one of two things. 25 minutes of staying upright. I know her grappling's okay, but that's not what a decision looks like here. 25 minutes of striking where Virna's just tough. Maybe it's low volume. Or Virna wins the first half of this fight and Lemos starts rallying. Maybe Virna gets tired. But even if that's the case, if either one is the case, I just would think Lemos would get her out of there. So for me, a Lemos decision is tricky. I see a Virna decision. That I say. And I see a Virna sub. I think Lemos still makes mistakes. And I think that Virna, you know, she has a good back take standing too. Where I'm like hesitant to pull the trigger yet is that, and I had a bet on Virna against Loopy, but the issue is why'd she beat Loopy? Because Loopy fought the very prototypical Loopy fight, where all she did was like, oh, let's play leg locks, man. Nah, I don't want to stand with you. Like, let's just screw around. She gave Virna the fight she wanted. Lemos won't do that. So I think that Lemos at some point will get Jandiroba out of there. I think 3-5 KO at 7-1 on FanDuel is a good look if you want to play a prop. But everybody is on fucking Lemos this week. So that always makes me nervous. Just Win Baby did make Jandiroba the mush of the week, though. So that gives me,
I saw that.
It does give me some more confidence here. And now that I said all this, Lemos' decision is probably going to happen, and Glenn's going to be very happy.
There you go, 5-1.
I would think that you'd need Jandiroba to probably bank the first 2 rounds for Lemos to really have a shot at decision. Because if she doesn't, that means it was standing, and if it was standing,
right,
I don't know that Jandiroba can take.
It's going to be shorter.
And Jandiroba like really hasn't shown that she's been like rocked. So like there's that, but man, I just think Lemos is, I mean, she's so vicious, and this is it's such a disparity on the feet.
Yeah.
Striking wise.
One last what for you?
I mean, like, I should have told him, tell me your picks in advance so I can disagree. I mean, look, this is just a fight card where, like, I said it, you know, like Brian on Twitch, he's going to announce like a 98-way tie for the cappers. Everybody went 7-5. Like every single person went 7-5 this week. I feel like it's that kind of week. Like there's not, you can make a case for every single underdog on this card. You can make a case for DFS.
Yep.
You make a case for Keller.
It's always how these cards work going into the pay-per-views, man.
You could make a 4-leg South Korean parlay, and it's not a bad play at all. Like they're all, it's a viable play. So this is just going to be one of those cards where, like, you know, don't have 11 units on this card like some people. And yes, that was a direct shot.
You got it in there.
I imagine having 11 units on this card, man. Like, come on, dude.
That's rough.
That's your response. It's churlish.
It's churlish.
I just watched the substitute teacher thing again from Key and Peele.
There you go.
Irresponsible and churlish. Jake Quellen.
There we go, Lou. We did it. All 12 fights for UFC Vegas 94. I don't have shit to promote. Well, that's not true. Shit else to promote. Bankroll or Bust is live on this very channel. It went up about 15 minutes before we went live. We had Couch Warrior coming back looking for his 5th straight win. We've got Fins, and we had Dogfather on as well, giving out 12 bets over 12 different fights. So check that out on this very channel.
Who's on next week, though, Monk?
Oh, next week, hopefully. I got to reach back out to him, make sure he didn't forget. But hopefully we're getting GC, the one and only GC, one of the Parlay Boys, the Parlay Pals from the MMA Hour next week on Bankroll or Bust for UFC 300. You are not going to want to miss that. So the winner of this week, hopefully GC, and then a third yet to be named contestant.
I mean, somebody's got to have to take Couch Warrior out. If these guys can't do it, it's going to have to be me.
Yep, I'm going to have to call up the big guns. What do you got, Lou?
I got a busy week next week. Week 2 of the Fight Factor with Dogfather. Be dropping every Tuesday morning, maybe Monday night. If you didn't see it, you know, at this point, I don't know, you're probably not going to watch at this point. But if you know, you could just go like the video and give me a view. But it's more about the process, asking questions about each fight, kind of like a more high-level approach than it is just like every other betting show. Props to consider this week with John Stargarian. This is the second time that John has done the prop show. The first time was a hoot. It's the second best prop show I ever did. Again, nothing will ever beat the show at Mike's MMA Picks.
Right, of course.
That's number one, and everybody else can eat shit. Like, it's just, that's it. But Stargarian was like number 2, and I had a great time talking to John. He's funny as shit. He's got good looks. Him and I think so differently that it's a really good mix. Back here next Thursday night for this. And look, this is a pay-per-view, so this is when all these schlubs come out of the woodwork and invite me to their shows. So who the hell knows? And then the week after that is when Monk and I are going to start rolling out some different content on top of the MMA stuff that we give you each and every week here.
Yes, sir.
On Way Past That.
Absolutely. Perfectly said.
I'll set our voice to end it.
That was great. Perfectly said. And I've got nothing else. You've got nothing else. And chat, you've got nothing else. Take your asses to bed. As usual, we want all of you to enjoy the fight. So enjoy. And we will see you in the next one.